Going to clock number 6, Michigan. Misread that paper. Number 8, Michigan State. And easily the best game of the weekend. I just don't. I honestly do not care. All the other arguments. There might be closer spreads. There's even a pick'em game in here. I honestly don't care. I honestly do not care. This is the best game of the weekend. You have an undefeated team against an undefeated team. And this could determine the Big Ten East right here. You know? I understand Ohio State. I honestly don't understand how Ohio State's 5 and Michigan State are both below Ohio State, both beside. Like, Michigan and Michigan State, both undefeated football teams right now, right? I'm sorry. Both undefeated football teams right now. They're playing at high levels. Michigan, I would say, escaped last week against Northwestern. I know, like, the score doesn't show it. They kind of escaped. Like, that game was way too close heading into the third quarter. Now, I understand they ran off with it in the third and fourth quarter. Should not have been that close against Northwestern. They should not have been. But, they escaped. Same with Michigan State. Their last game out didn't have exactly the best outing. Barely escapes Indiana by 5 points. Yeah. But anyways, last week, Cade McNamara went 20-27, threw for 129 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Blake Corum had 19 carries for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Eric All had 5 catches for 34 yards. Michigan State, on the other hand, 2 weeks ago, coming off a bye, so it's going to be a huge advantage, Michigan State. Peyton Thorne went 14-26, threw for 126 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Obviously, a bad game from Thorne. Kenneth Walker had 111 yards, 23 carries. Actually, Kenneth Walker III had 23 carries for only 84 yards. And Jaden Reed had 4 catches for 70 yards. If you're Michigan, you're just watching that Indiana defense on loop all week, because that is the best I've seen someone guard Michigan State, except for Nebraska, in like the second half, right? That is the best defense I think I've ever seen against Michigan State all year, right? Indiana played phenomenally well, and if you have an offense that isn't constantly turning the ball over, and if you're Indiana, then you might win that game. So if you're Michigan, you're just studying that game film intensely, because it's the best defense they've played against any best defense of effort Michigan State has played all year. That was really good defense by Indiana. You're just watching that on repeat if you're Michigan. It's interesting because both teams rely on the ground so much. Michigan with their 2-headed back with Corum and Haskins, right? And then Michigan State with obviously the Heisman candidate and Kenneth Walker III. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a largely running game. I expect this game to actually go really, really quickly. It's going to be a lot of grounding the ball out on the ground. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. Michigan's 71-37 all time against Michigan State. Last game has gone to Michigan State, and they have won 9 of the last 13. It's interesting to think about because you normally think of Michigan and Michigan State. You think Michigan's the better football team. But recently Michigan State has been pretty much dominating Michigan. It's really been Michigan State. The Spartans have really been Michigan's enemy recently. They've really gotten the better of the Wolverines. Sorry, dang, I don't know why I'm yawning so much, but I think actually the Spartans are going to win here. I know, it's a weird opinion to have, but I think if you can get Kenneth Walker III going on the ground, Peyton Thorne works so well off of that, and in my opinion, normally, if I'm looking at games, I normally pick the quarterback. The quarterback's a huge difference maker for me. If I think a quarterback's better than the other quarterback, I normally go with that team. It's just that way in college football. It's normally the better quarterback wins. In fact, in my opinion, Peyton Thorne's a better quarterback than Cade McNamara, and I just think Michigan State's going to win this one. Sorry, give me the Spartans to win and upset Michigan.